Oh, it's just getting a little bit ridiculous now, this Struijk pylon. Why on earth are Leeds fans calling him out? Wasn't really his fault, was it? Those goals against Tottenham? We'll get our panel's view on that in a second. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Leeds chat. If you can squeeze just a short amount of time for us to go through all the tweets, the good and the bad, following that loss to Tottenham Hotspur, then we'll be very grateful for you sticking around. We're also discussing a big question this week. Is Brendan Emerson Premier League standard? Some Leeds fans have really gone hard on him this week. Is that fair? We're also talking about refereeing standards in the Premier League. And if you've only just joined us, last week we started the A to Z of Leeds United. And we're up to letter B this week. Who gets in for you? Well, AI suggested this fella. Can you or Jacob beat that? Welcome back. Hope you're well. We're just recovering from our first loss at home at Ellen Road, Jacob, in nearly 14 months or so. Was it the right result for you?
I think it was a bit unlucky, really. You think on another day, Calvert-Lewin again puts away one of his few chances. Um, but to be fair to Tottenham, I think they had that bit more quality than us in the final third. Kudus took his goal well. Tell's goal, I know it was deflected, but again, it was a nice move. But on the day, again, I thought we were good. We created, a few chances. Had good spells on the ball. And at the end of the day, it was just unlucky.
Yeah. You'll have seen, I'm sure, on social media and through lots of forums, people fed up now of Struijk. This one here, Thomas says Struijk's inability to engage with an on-rushing attacker is scarily poor. He constantly just backs off. If he steps in for that Tottenham goal, he either wins the ball or forces him into his midfield. Instead, he just drops and drops, allowing a shot. Difficult one, this, because and I think people are looking at it because of all the talent you've got, which probably could play in that position. Where do you stand? Do you understand the pylon or not?
I do, but I also think it's a bit harsh. I think he wasn't actually expected to partner Rodon at the start of the season when Viol came in. But actually, I think he's done quite well. I think obviously yesterday, and you look at the game away at Arsenal as well. You've got to think about the standard of the opposition. He was up against a really good, quick Tottenham, front three yesterday, and I do feel it's a bit harsh. He's done it before in the Prem for us as well. He's had some good stints in the Championship too. And let's see if Bujol can come back into the team. But I'm not too sure really.
The fan base were
Mm.
split. We have to much balance the argument out here. Chris says, could Pascal Struijk have stepped up for both goals? Well, maybe. Would Spurs just have popped the ball round him if he did? Probably most likely. The fact of the matter is that both goals came from mistakes that left our centre backs badly exposed and forced to backtrack. It's actually hardly their fault. And another one here says Struijk nearly corrected mistakes from Ampadu and Longstaff for the first and nearly spared Gudmundsson's blushes on the second, but he'll get all the blame for it and not them. Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's harsh the way that they're all piling on to Pascal. I watched that second goal and initially thought that yeah, it was Gudmundsson's fault really. But I think a lot of people are focusing more on that than the actual positives out of the game. You know, actually, fair play to Tottenham. That Kudus goal, he took it well. I think sometimes we've got to be a bit more. Um, we've got to think a bit more about why we're piling onto our players like this. When he's been good for so long.
Okay. The other player we're going to talk about is Aronson. I feel a bit deja vu here because we've been here so many times. But straight up question before I look at the tweets here, Jacob: is he Premier League player?
Tough one. I think if you told me that when we first signed him, I'd actually say no. But actually, he started this season quite well, to be fair to him. He was key in our goal yesterday. He took the shot and Vicario parried it to Okafor. And it's been a tough ask for him, really. He's got a lot of stick. He got a lot of stick last year. And now that Dan James and Nonso are injured, he's had to step up. And to be fair to him, he's done quite well. So I have to see if Farker sticks with him, if when James and Nonso are fit. But fair play to him. He's come in, he's worked hard, and yeah, he's played a part in a couple of the goals.
He infuriates fans though, doesn't he? For reasons. And David Martin says, "What does he see in Aronson? He's clearly not Premier League standard. Why is it not Tanaka is?" John says, does anyone think Harrison is good enough? Why have we spent 30 million on defenders and then stick with Struijk? If we wasted 30 million, do you think Struijk is Premier League standard? Um, yeah, why does he get the ire of the Leeds fan base, Aronson?
I just think a lot of people are. I think his physicality is something that a lot of people touch on. Like in the Championship, it's a there's a lot of physical battles. I'm not saying the Premier League isn't physical, but the Championship especially. I think a lot of people are quite quick to judge him with that, but actually they don't see some of the work he does off the ball. Where he's actually quite a good ball carrier. Um, And yeah, to be fair, like I just touched on, I actually think he started quite well. I knew I was quite full of criticism for him last year. I didn't think he should have been starting when he should. I know Farker likes him, but actually he's started really well.
Okay. Parker says he was proud of the performance. That has got some Leeds fans kind of saying, well, look, you can be proud, but pride doesn't keep you up. Bernie saying, yeah, feeling proud doesn't keep you in the Prem. We massively lack creativity and a goal scorer. This club have failed Farker massively by not strengthening our attack, and that was highlighted here because you got Dan James is going to be out for a few weeks. Noto was going to miss the game. Calf problems not sorted. Gray's a question mark. Hip flexor problem after Monday's game, and the reaction is from Joe here says such a stupid decision not to sign another one or two attacking players looks more and more stupid day by day. It's going to keep coming back, isn't it? Every time Leeds don't score or they lose games and don't put it in the back of the net, that it's not Farker's fault. This is it. He should have been backed more.
I don't. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think he will have wanted to bring a few more attacking players in. But it wasn't like we didn't have chances. Rodon hit the post again. Calvert-Lewin's had a few chances, but Vicario made a good save at the end from Pirro. So it's not like we're not creating anything. I know there was a bit of criticism the first few games where we weren't really doing too much. Only, our first goal against Everton was that Nemecha penalty. But look at Wolves away, 3 goals there. Home to Bournemouth could have easily been more, and even yesterday. So it's not like we're not creating anything. And again, it's good to see Okafor getting on the score sheet again. He's looked pretty bright recently.
Okay. It's Burnley next. Old friends, of course, from there. Is this a sort of game that he has to target and be braver at away from home? The away performances have been a little bit mixed so far. Um, People have said, look, if he was braver at Fulham, he'd have got 3 points. Obviously, take Arsenal out of it. But how do you see him playing this one? Does he go for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I just hope he doesn't overthink it and do, something stupid like play a 5 at the back or go really defensive and try and play long ball or something. I think it's a must win, definitely. If we want to stay in this league, we've got to be beating, we've got to do the double over Sunderland and Burnley. We've got to be beating the sides around us. Um, And to be fair, I watched the Aston Villa Burnley game today. They didn't look too bad, Burnley. But then again, we still should be beating them with the way that we played away at Wolves. The sides around us. We should be going there and looking to get all 3 points and should be starting on the front foot and, really, really going to put them to the sword.
Yeah, who starts up top for you then for this one?
I think Calvert-Lewin, I think you've got to just give him time. He's getting in the right areas. He's getting shots on target. It's only a matter of time before one lands. Saw it at Wolves, a good header. Again, unlucky yesterday. Vicario made a couple of decent stops. And I think it's only a matter of time before, he's firing him in.
Okay, all right. Let us know in the comments what you think. And we also about briefly about refereeing standards, Jacob. I don't know what your thoughts are, but there's been lots of comments, not throughout the English divisions this weekend and previous, that the standards just aren't improving. In fact, they're getting worse. How have you felt Leeds have been refs so far since you returned to the Premier League? I know VAR has a play here, but just over the general pattern of play, do you feel it's been good?
I think it's definitely been an improvement on the Championship. There were some baffling
Yeah.
decisions we had against us last year. And I know even like this year we've been given, that penalty against Everton on match day 1. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but I'm just saying that I know that was a talking point. But actually, I think we've been refereed, quite fairly, quite balanced, really. There are a couple of decisions yesterday, obviously, but there's always going to be a few like that. But actually, there's been nothing sort of that stands out to me which has gone against us at the moment.
Yeah, it's the Burnley fans we've spoken to have a very different view of it, and that they've had lots of decisions in their games at Tottenham itself, against United, of course, against
Yeah, I
Liverpool,
was going
that
to say
have
the United one. Yeah,
not gone their way at all, and feel very much that the refs
no,
side with the big name teams all the time. And our Sunderland fans felt that very much against United the other day as well. Maybe when you've played a very big name yourself, maybe hopefully you don't experience it. All right, thanks for that. Finally, this week then we're doing as we said, the Leeds A to Z. We're looking for players or anything to do with the letter B that should be put forward here. Obviously, Leeds legend David Batty was put forward by AI. Jacob, have you got anything bigger than that needs to go in our A to Z of Leeds?
I'd say in recent times it's got to be one man, and that's Patrick Bamford. Obviously, also Bielsa. I cannot forget him. There's a fair
Absolutely.
few, but for me, yeah, in my time, in my prime time watching Leeds, Patrick Bamford has been up there. You know, that Premier League season. Shame it didn't work out for him last season, and under Farke didn't really work out for him. But yeah, he's no words to describe that man. Frustrating at sometimes, but also yeah, just brilliant. And we'll never forget his hat trick at Villa, his goal at Peterborough, and yeah. So Bamford's mine. Could have had Berardi as well. Bamford,
Okay.
Berardi, Bielsa.
Bamford in
Yeah.
over Bielsa? I can hear people in the comments typing away now,
I was going to
going,
say this is going to be
"What's he been
controversial.
smoking?" Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I had a player last week, so I thought I'd stick with the sort of player surname.
Oh,
Um,
okay, right.
but yeah, I
Um,
don't think I can. I might have to change it, but I've stuck with it now. I can't go back and change
okay,
it. But
right,
Bielsa
okay.
is yeah.
The man that finally got you out of those leagues, isn't he? I'm sure most fans will be jumping up and down, going, "There's only one B." But okay, we'll stick with Bamford. Let us know in the comments who else have we missed as well. I'm sure there's others as well. Bremner, I'm sure people are going to bring up as
No,
well.
yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Jacob. Thank you, of course, all very much for watching. Do drop us a quick subscribe and a quick like as well, as we help to grow this channel. We get to 200. We've been so close to it each week. If you just press the button, that would massively help us out as we grow a little Leeds community over here. There's lots of other Leeds podcasts I know you can listen to, but if you can squeeze 15 minutes every week, we'd be massively less appreciated as we look back at all the social media takes of this great club. Enjoy your week off, Jacob. We'll see you the other side of that Burnley game. Have a good one.